Mr. Nancy again, out for a park after 3 a.m. on the Aquarius full moon. Yeah, here spinning his Webbers again, almost walked into it. But yeah, it's crazy. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Antonio, back with another video today. This is going to be an interesting one. I rarely shoot my videos with my back camera. But yeah, at the park during my ritual, on the full moons, I like to, there you go, with the birds chirping, I like to come out and, just walk around the park for a little while, just reflect on things, take a little breather while no one's outside. That's one of those secret ways to get alone time. It's just to wait till everyone goes to sleep. Which over in this side of the world, it's nighttime over here. I'm pretty sure the sun is shining on another part of the planet, right? But yeah, that's usually how I get a lot of my time done. I actually watched my father as a young child. When I would spend time with him and things like that, he would stay up really, really, really late. And I just always naturally stayed up late myself. Either when I hung out with my friends or anything like that, anytime it was like sleepovers, we would always stay up really late. I would be the last one to fall asleep. But yeah, just wanted to get on today, see what's up with you folks, see how everything's been going, making sure everyone's staying healthy, applying themselves, learn something new every day, one of my favorite mottos. But yeah, got some interesting emails today, some interesting paperwork faxed over to me and everything. Trying to get some things off the ground here. Try to do things the right way. But business is good. I have a lot of plans I want to work on this year. So again, we'll see. I had plans for last year, then the Rona smashed everything. So we had to look at things from a different perspective. Then of course I went through my spiritual expansion, and that just added layers onto that whole thing. And then my whole home foundation, then that whole thing is like layers on top of layers on top of layers. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video, it's kind of one of those who am I type videos where I kind of just explain a little bit about myself. I'll probably put it into different categories, like my upbringing and things like that, where I was raised, where I was born, the different schools I went to, and things like that, different education I had throughout my lifetime, or even like places that I worked, just like the major reference points in life that just teach you things. You have different challenges that you go through, even health. I'll probably be explaining a little bit of those things. So today I'm going to start with just the educational part, where did I receive my education and what schools I went to, where did I acquire higher learning in my trades and things like that, how I become the person that I am intellectually and things like that. But started with schools. I was born into like a like the downtown area, of course, Miami Overtown area. Anybody know anything about those particular areas? Those are like highly densely populated, particularly black communities and things like that. Very thriving communities. in the the mid 1900s, late 1900s, until a lot of different types of reconstructive businesses took over the area and started to like gentrify. A lot of the folks would just move the money around in different ways in that area. So there was like a lot of drugs and a lot of crime that took over the area and things like that. So there are a lot of well-known schools in the Dade County or the Florida area that are known for like violence and things like that. So my mom always tried to pick the best schools for me, of course. Attended daycare early on, of course. Moms had to work. By the way, raised in a single family, a single mother household, a single mother household, of course. For whatever reason, my parents could not see eye to eye, and so I witnessed my mom's like work and things like that. She took me to different places that she worked in, but particularly like elementary schools. I went to a lot of elementary schools. My mom moved around a lot early on. She had me, and then like 2 years later, she had my younger sister. So yeah, definitely was some interesting times, But of course, I went to a lot of well-known Miami schools. Opelika Elementary, of course, right there in the middle of Opelika. Of course, Nathan B. Young Elementary. That school still is there, surprisingly. Went to a few different schools, all the way up to West Palm Beach. We moved around a lot from Dade County all the way up to, past Fort Lauderdale area to the West Palm Beach area and back down to Miami-Dade County area. That's how it be. You have to move around, dodge the raindrops. But, experiences like that could be devastating. But experiences like that could also teach you to view different situations and different areas in a brand new way. It allows you to be more free. You don't necessarily get attached to too many things like that, but then it's not good because you're not able to ground yourself and build a solid foundation. So I went to a lot of elementary schools. Always excelled. I tried to cultivate a second language, Spanish, of course, at a younger age. I would always help my mom out or help family members out with like little Spanish words and phrases and things like that, and they would like think it was so funny or so cute. But grew up around a very mixed culture in these elementary schools. Of course, I went to middle schools in Northern Middle School. I heard about Edison, North Miami, all these different schools. Ended up moving to Broward my preteen years. So as far as middle schools go, once I moved up to Broward, I went to Addicks Middle School in Hollywood, Florida. And yeah, it was a pretty good experience. Met some. That's when I really met like a lot of people that I still know today. It's a very interesting learning experience. For the most part, I try to just chill out and relax. Just moving from Miami, not really knowing too many people. I became one of the popular kids, what have you. The first year, made a lot of friends. Second year, which was my 8th grade year, I ended up getting switched to different classes, of course, meeting new people, more of like the higher learning classes and things like that. I guess once they figured I had, decent test scores and things like that, they could put me in the advanced classes. 8th grade was cool. That was fine. We move on to high school. So high school was straight. There was one high school the whole way around. I actually spent more than 4 years in high school, believe it or not. I had my surgery. I went to the hospital the very first day of my senior year, and I was not able to. They told me I wasn't going to be able to go back to school. I wasn't going to be able to get a job. I shouldn't go out into public because of my immune system and all these things going through this surgery. and all this rehabilitation I would have to go through and all these things. But I ended up going back to school, staying the extra semester to get my credits. And, it was interesting. They ended up holding my high school diploma because I owed books and money on school books. Moving around so much, you can never keep track of your textbooks and things like that. We'll tend to lose that stuff. So I was like, frig it. I went to where did I go to? I think I went to the city youth center or something like that. That's where you go to just take the GED high school diploma test, whatever. You usually have to do the 3 to 6 months training course or whatever in order to get ready for the exam. And I did their little entry exam. And it was these are some of the best scores you ever seen at this place. You don't even need to take the class. Just go and take the GED test. So I went, took that test, passed it. I don't even think I had to pay anything. I think it was $20, if that. But yeah, I got that, and then that was it. I think that's probably the end of my formal education. From 0 through 12. And then of course, after I moved out of my mom's house, I was I can't sit in the house all day. Time to go back to school. So I signed up for tech school, Florida Career College. I knew technology was going to be the wave of the future. And I was a gamer, so I was let me just go into information technology. Spent, spent about 2 years, and got my my diploma or my certificate, and learned a lot of stuff. Learned how to build networks and build computers, basically connect the internet and things like that. So it was an overall interesting experience, learning new things. College isn't for everyone. Some people can't afford college. College is definitely a tool that you can use to get away from home, get out, go experience new things, get a change of scenery, and just, a chance to experience life while you're still young and make mistakes that you wouldn't necessarily be able to make at 29 and 31 and things like that. It's good for, connecting with people, some of the people that you're probably going to know for the rest of your life, and building those relationships. Relationships are they're centered around love and money, two of the most important things that or currencies that people value in this planet. So college is definitely a great tool. I guess the more money you spend for it, right? You can either go get a taco, or you can go to Chipotle, right? It's all based on how much you're willing to spend to get in whatever particular club. If you just want to go to the regular hood club, or you want to go to the high class club where they serve you free wine and cheese. But yeah, we associate colleges with gangs and things like that. Just people coming together as a community, whatever you want to call it, and exchanging ideas. It's a good way to learn things. And then you have a lot of the education that people are going to be driven to more in the future. Everybody wants everything quick and fast, so that's going to be the same case. It's going to be with education. Everybody's going to want education, or they're going to want to learn things quick and fast, so they're not going to have a problem with putting cybernetic chips in their heads so that they can scan every friggin' country on the globe. Just different ideas, different just technologies and apps, and different ways technology is going to be flipped on its head. Different marketing campaigns and different marketing schemes and things like that. That's distracting people. But that's what education is for. Education is for you to learn to read, write, and do math. I tried. I explained before that all of these things were originally symbols, and even symbols. Symbols are a category for these things. We need language as a form to communicate with each other. But you know, all of these things were at one point symbols and signs. We just classified them into different, letters and numbers. But we can put them all under one category, signs. Um, but yeah, definitely some interesting ideas and concepts. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that today. Um, Now I'm just thinking about the movie Signs for whatever reason. Now I want to go watch the Signs. I wonder if that's what um, M. Night Shyamalan was talking about when he says signs. Is it necessarily aliens or higher dimensional beings reaching out to us through technology, or through signs and symbols, repeating letters and numbers and things that we don't even really pay attention to? Some people are able to interpret it into different ways. Some people say it's the voice of God, or it's spirit, or it's their ancestors. But that's the power of being human. We are able to commune with the planet. We're able to commune with Earth, Gaia. This energy or this spirit is always going to be here as long as we nurture and take care of it. You just have to learn yourself so you can do your part. If you're a gardener, be the gardener. If you're the one that's the planter, or be just plant. If you're the one that's supposed to water the garden, someone has the super. You have to think of. I mean, you might as well think of it as a plantation. There has to be a supervisor, and there has to be people that work. Especially in the United States, we live in a capitalistic society. So people have been complaining about finances and things like that. I understand in the mid 1900s, but as in the internet age in 2020, and people still complaining about money and things like that. When you have high school kids that are able to generate finances and things like that. I don't know. Interesting world we have here today. But yeah, I was able to make some interesting business moves. So we'll see what we go with that. I still have a lot of writing to do. I was saying how I didn't get a chance to complete a lot of my goals in 2020 because of different circumstances and situations. But we have a whole new year, so we have a whole new chance to knock a lot of these things out. And once we get to it, enjoy this little walk around the park. I feel like I've been walking around this park for a while, so I feel like I've also been talking a while. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Be safe.